Do you have regrets?
My only regret, let me put it that way, my only regret is marrying, somebody that is incompatible with me.
Fantastic. So if we're going to go to the issue of incompatibility, don't you think that is the mistake? Because divorce rates are getting higher. I mean, we don't even have the patience anymore, to be honest. Do you think that is more because people are not true to themselves? As you broke it down, finding yourself, knowing yourself. Because now with what you knew, would you have chosen him? With what you know about yourself, forget him. With what you know about yourself as your truth, your voice, would he still have been your first candidate?
No.
Exactly. Okay, so you've answered that for me. Now, let's lighten up things a bit, please. Apart from the twist. Can you show us another dance? Apart from the twist, because twist is your favorite.
Twist is my favorite, and that is what I can do now, because I cannot dance high life for you. We danced high life, Ike Dairo and all the rest, with their drum beating and everything. We dance high life, we also cha-cha-cha. Cha-cha-cha. And cha-cha-cha is, a sort of you and a partner synchronized. They are synchronized steps.
You are allowed to dance with the opposite sex?
No, I mean girls.
Oh,
but in
okay.
the you are not talking about secondary school. But in university, yes.
Okay.
University. Okay. Oh yes, in university.
So let's do the twist. Show me.
Let me tell you about a place. Hey, somewhere of the New York way, where the people are so gay, twisting the night away.
Okay.
Yeah, they have a lot of fun.
This is not how we dance now.
Putting trouble on the run. Man, you ought to see them go. Twisting the night away.
Please, the way we dance now, Mom, is like this. So this is how we dance now. No, but thank you. That was nice. That was nice. Honestly, that was nice. Knowing what you know now, what advice would you give me 20 years back before I got married?
20 years back, Comfort. The advice I will give you are 3.
Wow.
Okay. One advice is broken into 3, and then 2 more. The first advice, which is broken into 3, is this: know yourself. Know yourself. Know yourself. 3. Know yourself, Comfort. What do I mean by you knowing yourself? You have to know your strengths and your weaknesses. You have to know your desires and your fears.
Yeah.
You have to know, your passions. You have to know your passions. Well, okay, your desires and your dreams, your passions and your fears. You have to know, to be knowledgeable about your eccentricities.
Yes.
And your idiosyncrasies. Comfort. You have to know your purpose in life. You have to be aware of your emotions as well. You have to be aware of your emotions, and and you have to understand, your desires, your abilities, your values, and your skills. Okay. Now, if you don't know yourself, if you don't know these things, the world will be overwhelming to you. The world will be overwhelming. Life can be very overwhelming. You may find it very hard to take decisions. You may find it hard to take decisions, find it difficult, to set goals and to achieve your goals,
Yes.
And you not feel fulfilled because you don't know who you are and what you want.
But I didn't know I was expected to find myself. I didn't know. As you rightly said, I was being, what do you call it, conditioned. Just the same way, by society, what my parents told me, my relatives told me, and all that.
Yes, Comfort, you didn't know then, but now you know. I'm telling you now, you know.
So it's never too late.
No, you have found yourself, Comfort.
Yes.
You have found yourself.
Thank you. I like that.
And I mean, it's self-knowledge. Actually, self-knowledge makes you to be independent from other people's opinions, and it makes you confident.
Yay! Okay.
And it makes you confident. You can also build on your strengths. It also makes you to know others and to build on relationships. So that is one thing. Comfort, find. If I am to give you this advice 25 years ago, find yourself. The second advice I will give you is listen to the voice of those who have been there before you. your parents, for example.
Which one? Okay, go on.
Your parents, maybe your teachers, maybe your teachers, because teachers have a responsibility, also, even though primary responsibility is for the parents to, shape the children. Yeah, and then any trusted elder that, could be a role model.
Yes, okay, I can remember the one.
Yes, could be a role model for you. And then the third advice I will give you is seek spiritual guidance as well.
Yeah, okay, I didn't have
spiritual guidance.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'm assuming you would give this same advice to your GD, or what would you add on it?
I will give her this
granddaughter.
Yes, I will give them my granddaughters. I will give them my granddaughters the same advice. Yes.
Sorry.
If I'm to advise any girl now, growing up, is to know herself.
Okay. If
she knows herself, things will be easier for her.
Okay, so then that means it's a thread that runs for all of us.
Yes.
Okay. What is on your bucket list? Don't please, I don't want the one from 1950 to the end. Just currently you have few bones, you don't have much strength, like 2, 3.
No, but my bucket list is, is it not what I need, I wanted to achieve in life? I have achieved virtually all of them.
So there's nothing.
I have been married, even though the marriage didn't last long. I have been married, I have children. I wanted a home. I had a home. I had a taste of it. I had a taste of it. On my list also, is to see my children grow up, and be independent, which they are now. On my list is to have a fulfilled career, which I have had. Now I am resting.
Okay, so you don't have thoughts like maybe you should go bungee jumping?
As at now,
go and see the lions.
Oh yes, no, why not?
Okay,
yeah.
So like which one?
Why not? I just want to travel, that's all.
Okay, yes, I know that's it. What is the best part of your relationship with CB now? CB, one.
We are best friends.
Oh gosh, can I go? My mommy! Oh, I have a best friend. I don't care about you guys. How rebellious was I? And in relation to the kids that we have these days, would you say that I was still rebellious? Would you classify me as being rebellious? Go
on. Comfort. You are asking me whether you are rebellious.
I said, was I? Or how rebellious was I? How? In comparison.
Comfort, you are rebellious. Well, you see, the thing is that you have a strong character. You have a strong character, and you experience it at home. The abuse you had at home, together with your siblings, has also toughened you. When you were a child, going to secondary school, boarding house was like a solace for you. Yeah. It was a solace for you, and you got really toughened. And you rebelled at home a little bit, but in school you preferred it, in secondary school, in a boarding house, because you were not at home to go through all those.
Okay.
But when you came back home, over the years, when you come home for holidays and whatnot, I noticed that you could stand up for yourself, even from the abuse of your father. But I also remember that your father saw it, and he had to go to Jos, to beg for your forgiveness. Even though after us analyzing that visit, we concluded that it was just, fake, but he saw it and he had to go to.
So you think he came to, I'm just trying to understand, you think he came to say sorry because what, he thought I would stand up to him? I
don't know why he took that decision to go and say and say he wanted you to forgive him. I don't know why he did that. But even then, after that, he didn't stop. All his abuse. Even when you came home, he didn't stop all his abuse. And I could remember one time when I went to Baptist High School to collect you after a holiday. Only for me to go there, everybody was going on holidays and there was no comfort. I went from Zaria to Jos to collect you and you were not there. I didn't know what to do. Started asking, students, where is comfort? Where is comfort? Before somebody finally told me that she saw you, with one of a common friend of yours. And from Jos, instead of me going back to Zaria, I had to head straight to Kaduna. From Kaduna, I went from friend house to friend's house because I didn't know where the friend was before I finally got you. That was all part of the rebellion. You didn't want to be home, to go into the what was happening at home.
So let me ask you a question. Why did you stay? If you could see that it was affecting your children negatively and even making one unnecessarily tough, because that is what happened, why did you stay that long?
Number one, because of my parents, because of I didn't want it will be like a disgrace to the parents in those days. My parents, and then number two, I didn't have a voice.
Yeah.
Number three, I eventually got out.
Yes.
I eventually got out. My marriage lasted only 13 years.
But don't you think the damage had been done to your kids by that
Unfortunately,
time?
it had.
So that means it's one of the things you
unfortunately, it had.
Would you, now with what you know, would you then have defied society and your parents then?
With what I know now?
Yes.
Yes.
Then would you? Yes. Yeah. With what you know now then?
Yeah, oh yes, definitely.
Okay. So I don't think there's any need to ask you what advice would you give your 25-year-old self. So 25-year-old,
I would give myself the same advice. I should know myself. Yes.
And said, so do you think you were not true to yourself then? Were you lying to yourself?
Well, at that time,
yes.
I didn't know myself. I was a happy-go-lucky person. And I did things spontaneously.
Okay.
I did things spontaneously. As I told you, even get the person that I'm going to marry, dating, telling my parents and whatnot. I never did. I just took it for granted. So what, I want to get married one day anyway.
Okay. All right. So you went deliberate.
Yes.
Not deliberate about what the decision you were taking.
That's right.
Okay. We see a lot of shift in family dynamics. Women are more vocal about men helping around, the house especially. And women, are really working, building careers for themselves. You as a career woman yourself, walk us through how you juggled work, the home front. That's number one. Work and the home front, how you juggled it. Do you think women with more freedom now are less tolerant of men and marriages? Or rather, it is just that it has freed them? I can repeat the last question.
Okay, let me answer your first question. Yeah, the first part of your question. Yes, I was a career woman. It was not easy at all.
Okay.
And to compound it all, I told you I was in an unhappy home.
Yes.
I was in an unhappy home. But during those days, when a woman gives birth, she has to go to work and whatnot, we had what was called then the ears. Ear.
Old women.
The old women, popularly called ears. So, Ear would come and live with you. She's much older than you, maybe in her 50s, something like that. Maybe in her 50s, she's much older than you. She'll come and live with you to literally be like your grandmother, like the grandmother to the baby, like your mother in the house. So she will live with you. Comfortably, you can leave your children, your baby with Ear while you go to work.
Okay.
I took advantage of that. I allowed my mother to look for the ears for me. People that were around her, her peers and whatnot. So she got, ears that she trusted, that, would not cheat me, nothing. And they came and lived with me. And I was able to go to work. Of course, my husband was working as well. So I was working as well. If there was any child, a baby that couldn't go to school, Ear would be with the baby, in the house. The other children may be in school and whatnot. I remembered. I remembered when you children started going to secondary school, it became, and the secondary school was boarding. It became easier. Yes. It became easier for me. But when I found my voice and I had to leave, I had to leave Zaria, to liberate myself from the bondage that I was in. I had your brother with me, who then was not in secondary school. I didn't know what to do, I had to juggle because I had to leave to go to Jos to pick up a job. And here was I with a child that, he was already in school in Zaria. We could not stay with the father. And I had to go to Jos. It was not a simple thing for me at all. I had to look for where to keep him, to keep him before, after settling, in Jos, came back and collected him. But life was so unstable for him because he went through 3 secondary schools. I had to change him from one to the other, just so that I could stabilize him.
But he's such a lovely young man. How did he make it?
Well,
despite everything, because one child is extreme,
Yeah.
the one that you painted. One child is extreme, the tough one. But he is such a gentleman. So how did you get the 2 extremes?
That I believe is his character. Like you are a very strong character, rebellious. He wasn't. That is just his character. That is just your character, and that was it. And again, when I had to go to Britain for my postgraduate, it was another difficult period for me because your sister was in boarding house, in Offa, so that was okay for me. And for him, I had settled him with my uncle in Zaria. Now it was you who was in question. What do I do with you? And I had to go to school, to further my career. So you remember, I had to leave you all alone.
Yay!
The
rebellious one.
I had to leave you all alone. All I did was, I told you that to get, a friend of yours, that you are in the University of Jos together, to stay with you, so that at least there is a presence of somebody with you at home. And I was away for that whole year. It was not simple for me as a mother to go and leave you like that. The others were fairly settled, but it happened. But
so I think rounding it down, basically, for you at this point, I think what helped also was that the society was still good, because you're talking about years, leaving your child and moving on and doing whatever it is. So you were in a good place.
Yeah.
So I just want to end off, start winding down with with lighter things.
Okay.
Lighter things. Are you happy now?
Oh, I'm very happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you do to keep yourself, you are now, waiting for home calling. So what do you do to keep yourself occupied before the Lord calls you?
I'm happy, I'm relaxing at home. I don't have much of worries now. My children are all on their own, they are all standing for themselves. And all I have to look after now is myself and the little health issues that I have, And in order to keep my brain alive, I do what your sister calls mental gymnastics.
Okay.
Mental gymnastics. I do all sorts of things. I do, including coloring like a child. I have color pencils, coloring books for which I sit down to color. And if I see what I do, it will,
It boosts you.
So honestly, you will be surprised and you will love it. I do that, and I do a lot of puzzles, crosswords, arrow words.
We can see it because you have spoken without breaking. So at least, if nothing else, I'm happy for that. So I just want to say, if I leave you, you'll go on and on, because I'm sure you have a lot more to say.
I do.
But I just want to thank you so much for the opportunity and this experience of honestly even hearing certain things that I didn't hear, and I'm glad with the answers you've given. So let's look at some pictures before you wind down. You seem to like pictures. You mentioned the best friend that you went to school with.
Yes.
That's her, right?
Yes.
What was with this pose? Nearly done all, and this one looks like a rat bit into your picture. How old were you here?
Maybe 13 or 14.
Really?
My Form 1.
You look big.
It was in my Form 1.
Okay. I mean, this one now looks funny, as if you were superimposed in the background.
Yes.
But you seem to like pictures. Okay. Mom, you did love. Is this? Not a small picture. Okay.
This was on our engagement day.
Okay. People looked happy then. Who is this? Whose wedding is this?
This was the wedding of my Dr. Mrs. Rosemary Abdullahi.
Okay,
that's
your
her
best friend.
lady.
Yes, the one you call. There's a name you have for her.
Yeah, my darling.
But your own sin is vanity. You like pictures. All right. So thank you very much. Thank you so much for sharing this, and thank you so much for speaking about Speak. I'm honestly, I don't know how to end this. I'm overwhelmed. And I just hope that you enjoyed this interview as much as I've enjoyed it. She's my mom, yes, but a lot of the things she said, I'm just hearing it for the first time. And I think everybody should, take a time to actually interview your parents. Sit down with them. You'll be shocked at what you'd hear. So on this note, we're signing out. So thank you very much, Mommy. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Also.
I know it took courage to do this. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
And that's it from me. My name is Comfort Booth, and see you next time.